Hey folks, Token Vision here today. I wanted to talk to you about a video which recently surfaced from the Bloomberg technology that Don Tapscott talked about how supply chain is a $50 trillion industry making its way over to blockchain, and just what the implications are for our favorite crypto VeChain Thor. So I hope you stick around because this is going to be a good one. So to begin, let's play the clip from Don Tapscott's interview on Bloomberg.
But if you look more broadly, what's happening in the economy is quite extraordinary. The $50 trillion supply chain industry is moving to blockchain. At this event next week, Richard Smith, who's the CEO of FedEx Logistics, will be discussing how FedEx is going to rebuild its whole logistics business on this technology. And that's one of 15 different industries where really big things are happening.
So we're seeing blockchain networks grow where there are kind of a group of trusted users. The real sort of holy grail is the distributed public network that could be global in nature. So far, it's been dominated by individuals randomly around the world. Yeah. Do we need, kind of to Sherry's point, do we need governments to actually be backing that distributed ledger, or is that antithetical to the whole point of the thing?
Well, there's a role for governments and regulators, especially when it has to do with capital markets. But overall, it's a broader model of governance where companies, individuals, the private sector, governments, and others get involved. Yeah. And if you think about just the opportunity here, every institution, every part of our economy is being changed. You look at like food safety and the work that Walmart is doing. There's all kinds of big changes happening in healthcare around blockchain as well.
Okay, so as you heard, Don said there's a $50 trillion supply chain industry that is moving over to blockchain, and on top of that, this is only one of 15 different industries that is waiting to be disrupted by blockchain. This is extremely exciting coming from a guy like Don Tapscott, who I've been following for a while now. So just a bit of background, some of you might be wondering who Don Tapscott is, and why should you put any weight on his words? Well, to begin, Don Tapscott is a pretty revered consultant/speaker in the business and tech industry. Don's expertise goes way back. For instance, he wrote a best-selling novel in 1994 when we barely started to come online to the internet. The book is called The Digital Economy: Promise and Peril in the Age of Network Intelligence. The book was about the impact on what the internet was going to have on our economy. He predicted the online revolution such as the dot-com boom, when most people at the time still considered the internet a fad or mostly just hype. Yes, I know it sounds ridiculous to think that at one point people didn't see much of the internet and how e-commerce would influence our world. If you are old enough, perhaps you might remember that at one point people considered doing business online almost as a joke, and nobody took it seriously. And quite frankly, majority of the people were afraid of the internet. Hell, they even coined such weird terms for the internet as the hyperspace. I mean, fast forward to today, who would have thought that Amazon would be putting out retail stores around the world out of business? The Digital Economy book was so well received that it's even been reprinted today with Anniversary Edition. Don was also instrumental in providing guidance to the government at the time on how to go about handling the regulation with the internet, and not to prevent innovation. This was hugely impactful at the time when the internet was still very young. So Don Tapscott was also one of the early pioneers in discovering Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and blockchain. He has since been a huge advocate for this technology and has co-founded the Blockchain Research Institute, where they bring together the top global researchers around the world to brainstorm and understand the disruptive nature of this technology. You can call him sort of a Bitcoin/blockchain evangelist. He's been around the world and has done many talks about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and blockchain. He's also one of the first guys who's talked about the blockchain and how it's going to be responsible for the fourth industrial revolution.
We're entering into the fourth industrial age. First was steam, and we mechanized things like shovels and hoes and looms. The second was electricity, and the main impact was to create the industrial production line, mass production. The third was the computer, mainframes, minis, PCs, the internet, the web, social media, the cloud, big data. And now we're entering into a fourth where technology is infusing itself into everything, into our physical world, into our bodies, into every business process, and into our organizations. And we have extraordinary developments like technologies that do things that they weren't programmed to do because they're able to learn as machines and reprogram themselves. The underlying technology for all of these great innovations, and probably the most important, is the underlying technology of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's called blockchain. And I'm convinced that this is nothing less than the second era of the internet.
Here's another clip of Don where he describes how blockchain is going to usher in a new way of empowering people and how it will cause a disruption to the current power structures of society. This is a talk of his which had a huge impact on my understanding on blockchain and gave me a sort of an aha moment that blockchain definitely is here to stay and how there is an actual use case outside of Bitcoin. Check this out.
And 80 years ago, there was a Nobel Prize-winning economist named Ronald Coase, and he posed a deceptively simple question. He said, why do we have the corporation? Why do we have the firm? He said, if Adam Smith is right, and the open market is the best mechanism for allocating goods, resources, information, money, why isn't everybody an independent contractor at every step along the way in production? Why do we all work for a firm? And he said the answer is, and he won a Nobel Prize for saying this, the answer is transaction costs. And he talked about 4 classes of costs. First of all, the cost of search. Imagine trying to find all the right people to do something, the right information, the right money, the right assets in an open market. Every time you tried to do something, well, that would be prohibitive. So we bring search inside the boundaries of a firm where we have filing cabinets to find information and org charts to find people and a corporate treasurer to find money and so on. Secondly, he said, the cost of coordination. Imagine trying to get all these people in an open market to work together to create a car. That'd be prohibitive. So we bring that inside the boundaries of a firm where we have management structures and processes to coordinate. Number 3 was the cost of contracting. If every little activity in the economy required a contract, a doctor's going to perform surgery, he'd have or she'd have to do 80 contracts with suppliers of equipment and scalpels and medicines and nurses and so on. Prohibitive. And finally, the cost of establishing trust. We bring all of these inside the boundaries of a firm where we can trust each other. Well, all of these costs are about to be devastated, blown to smithereens by blockchain, because that's what this technology does. It radically drops transaction costs and enables people to collaborate together in trusting ways.
So there you have it. I hope you understand exactly how much change and disruption blockchain is going to have on our economy. And as an investor, how exciting this is to have someone as forward-thinking in technology and business, such as Don Tapscott himself, talk about how we are going to witness a movement of $50 trillion coming into the supply chain industry, especially when most of us here who are listening on this channel are invested in VeChain or perhaps another supply chain crypto. What is especially exciting to me is that even though there might be several dozen cryptocurrencies who are all looking to have a piece of that $50 trillion pie, one thing that is assuring is that none of them, comparatively speaking, are even close to VeChain in terms of strategic partnerships with global giants such as BYD, the biggest electric car maker, BMW, Bright Food, Haier, DNVGL, Deloitte, PwC, and the list just keeps expanding day by day to me. Pair that up with VeChain's proprietary in-house top-of-the-line RFID and QR production. We just have a clear winner in my books. So, in my opinion, really, at this point, if you really truly believe in VeChain like myself, it is just a matter of giving them the patience and try to enjoy the ride along the way. I know this is easier said than done, but just understand that VeChain is going to present us all a huge opportunity. So stay focused, see the road ahead for what it is. The daily fluctuations in crypto can be a little bit crazy, but I believe in 3 to 5 years' times when we look back at these volatile movements that we're experiencing today, it's just going to be a noise in the grand scheme of things. If you remember, I did a video on PwC, robotics, blockchain, and artificial intelligence not long ago. I'll leave a link at the end of this video and also in the description of this video if you'd like to check it out. But it basically describes how PwC has VeChain as its main blockchain and how it's going to be using them to usher in a new wave of business. Well, PwC released another video today which has Sunny speaking about blockchain and how it's going to impact everything in business. Here's a short clip.
Blockchain is going to change the world like internet did.
Think big, start small, and learn.
Blockchain application for most of the enterprise is like strategic decision for now. Or in another way, blockchain got a different name. It's called the trust machine. From technical point of view, it can provide extra trust to products or services to most of the enterprises.
As leaders, we have to really understand what these technologies are and what they can mean to our business. So my best advice is to immerse yourselves in the technologies and immerse your leadership teams in those technologies so that you can start to really visualize and practically see what the implications are to your business.
To stay out in front in an environment that's changing very, very quickly and things are converging in very, very quickly, one has to really embrace this technology and kind of be fearless about it. This is a technology that they can embrace to improve their safety records.
How should companies get started? Well, just start, right? I think everyone tries to figure out this magic bullet. So start to experiment, find some talent that's interesting and interested, but start with something, right? Stop waiting and just get your head around how this is fundamentally changing your business.
Some food for thought. If you ever feel uncertain about your investment in VeChain, ask yourself how many cryptocurrencies in this space has multiple multi-billion-dollar companies such as PwC, BNW, DNVGL, BYD all do actual talks and presentations about their crypto. Not only that, DNVGL has actively been promoting to their clients to use the MyStory dApp for supply chain. Also, fun speculation that came up recently by a user of the name Mr. Shill aka YBC on Twitter regarding PwC. The rumor is that there's an app called AirTrace by PwC, and it looks to me like it's PwC's version of the MyStory dApp. Essentially, a dApp that will be used for supply chain traceability, counterfeit, cold chain, and so on. We all know that there's only one crypto that is deeply tied to PwC, and that is obviously VeChain. And of course, this is just all speculation, so take it for what it is.
In a retail climate made uncertain by product safety issues and counterfeiting, we all want to know whether the products we buy are safe and real. AirTrace empowers brand owners and consumers by enhancing trust and providing transparency of products across the supply chain. Using blockchain technology, AirTrace provides an unalterable record of the product's physical journey from creation to consumption, giving confidence that the product is authentic. Products begin their journey in the AirTrace ecosystem at the point of their manufacture, where they are tagged and added to the blockchain. The AirTrace solution integrates with different tag types across multiple packaging levels, allowing products to be tracked through each pair of hands they pass through. At point of sale, consumers can view information about the legitimacy of the products, giving them the ability to purchase with confidence. Brand owners can see the journey of their products from manufacture to their customers and gain rich, analytical data on buying behaviors and patterns. AirTrace, building greater trust in supply chains to protect and empower brands, businesses, and consumers.
In addition to all the exciting news, we also just recently hit a record high of 10 million VeThor burn in one day. I mean, not long ago we were just celebrating 5 million burn in a day. So guys, my point is, have a big picture in mind. There is no doubt to me that VeChain is going to be dominating the supply chain blockchain market, and $50 trillion is nothing to scoff at. Let's take a look at the market cap of VeChain today. It is currently sitting at about $330 million. Now imagine if VeChain can capture even just 10% of that $50 trillion, what the market cap is going to look like in 3 to 5 years. I mean, one can only imagine, right guys? Sky's really the limit here. We're talking about $50 trillion. Guys, I absolutely love VeChain and I'm so excited to be invested because of everything they have going for it. They are just endlessly impressive to me and such a hard-working team, and I'm so happy to be part of this great community even if I'm only playing a small role. I've recently only finished watching and rewatching the VeChain Summit videos, and wow, what a great first event for VeChain. I'm in the process of making a highlight video for that summit, in which I'm going to be talking about some of the stuff that I find that's going to be truly exciting going forward, and perhaps from my observation hasn't been mentioned by the community much, so stay tuned for that. I'm really excited to share with you all that I found, so please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification button, so that you won't miss another update from me in the future. Thanks again for watching guys, I love you all, have a great day.